Chain kill. The eye of the storm.
What's up, guys? War here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm bringing you an amazing mapping build, probably one of the funnest builds that I've played in Dawn of the Hunt, and I'm having just an absolute blast with it. But before we get off and get into all the details of the build, I want to give a big shout out to Kingpin, a community member of mine, showed me this build from him. He came up with this, so it's all his. I'll link all his stuff down in the description below. But when I saw it, I was like, oh yes, attribute stacker is back and the build is amazing, but there is some downside. So let's go ahead and get into all of it, so that way you guys can play this build if you want to. Now, first thing first, I will say this is probably at best probably just a mapping build. It's probably at best just a mapping build. It is not a great boss killing build at all. So if you guys still have lightning spear or anything else, definitely use that. I'm currently only level 73, so I still got a long ways to go, but the build doesn't seem like it has great single target damage. It's just great for AoE. So with that out of the way, if you guys, are trying, you guys see this and you want to use it to kill bosses, this is probably not the best. It's probably just good for mapping, but that's all I want to do right now, and I can just switch to my lightning spear build when I want to kill bosses. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and go into all of the things for the build. Let's talk about the gear first. This is not a campaign leveling build. You will not use this in the campaign. You will use Rake with Stomping Ground. That's all you need for the campaign. I can talk about that in another video. But we are doing Ritualist. We are doing Huntress, Ritualist, so that way we get the 3 ring slots because we are attribute stacking. You're going to see a lot of the gear is similar to the Gemling from last season. We are rocking Hand of Wisdom and Action gloves. We got the Warrior Invictus, and of course we got the Black Sun Crest, all for attribute stacking. Okay, my actual Black Sun Crest is actually a really low roll. And then you want to get the 1 to 12 on a corruption for this, but right now it's okay. The Warrior Invictus, you want to get plus to attributes, plus to chaos, and plus to all res. Just to kind of help fill out your resistances here. You guys can see I'm still a little off on my resistances, but I am going to be talking about some gear changes here in just a minute. So these are the 3 main unique items that you need for the build. The 4th one is going to be the Menengor's Girdle Belt. This is just going to give you a huge amount of strength. We will talk about upgrades here in a minute. Outside of these, we're just going for a very basic spear. We want to get increased fizz damage, fire, lightning. The crit hit chance is not what you want. You want attack speed. In that crit hit chance, we want mana on kill, but this is the one that I got, plus dexterity. We want to be attacking as fast as we possibly can. You want to throw lightning in there or even adds fizz damage. Either one is fine. In our boots, we are not going to need move speed because the whirling slash itself is going to move us around. So we just did life, mana, 3 reses, very basic gear, because this is stuff out of the campaign that I was using. The only real upgrade that I made is once I hit 65, I put this on. Otherwise, coming out of the campaign, this is a lot of the gear that I had for the build. So we still got a huge upgrades to make. In our amulet, eventually you are going to want Astromantis. So if you have it, that's going to be great. But in the meantime, you want to do the Stellar amulet with whatever you want on the top end. It could be mana, life, whatever you want. I have energy shield because I am going to be swapping out the boots to a more ES base because I only have 438 energy shield just as an added layer of defense. And then you want attributes, strength, and 1 resistance. On the 3 rings, they're all going to be pretty similar. We want prismatic ring with fire damage. If that increased fire damage was like adds another fire damage to attacks, that would really help the build. Base damage is really good. And then mana, and then all attributes, dexterity, intelligence. Same thing here. We want fizz damage, and instead of chaos damage, we would want lightning or fire, or just fire and lightning instead of adds physical. The rarities, whatever, but again, all attributes, dexterity, intelligence. Then on this ring, again, you want base damage, and then you want all attributes through here because we are just absolutely stacking attributes. That's going to do it for the gear, guys. You are going to get a separate, an extra charm slot. So use the unique charms if you have them. Otherwise, it's just okay. Now into the Paragon. the passive tree. We are doing Ritualist. I think the Ritualist is going to be best for this build. You guys can play around with like Monk or something else if you guys want. But the main reason that we're doing Ritualist is because we're going to come over here and take reduced mana. We're going to get the +1 ring slot. This is what allows us to have 3 rings. Having another ring with all those attributes is going to be huge for us when we're stacking. And then we got 3% increased attributes along with 25% bonuses gained from equipped rings and amulets. Absolutely huge. The next ones is going to be charm charges, increase, 1 more charm slot, increase gains, and then can consume 25% of max mana to trigger charms with insufficient charges. So that's why you kind of want like poison, freeze, anything like that, maybe stun if you're having issues with that. Now, the passive tree is very straightforward. We're taking a little bit of a attack speed here, nodes into primal. We take dexterity through everything, attack speed here. We're going to come up and we're going to take a rapid strike for more attack speed. Same thing with Falcon technique. We're going to come down and we're going to be taking acceleration for skill speed, attack speed. Also Falcon die for more attack speed. We are taking Dance with Death for just more attack speed with one-handed weapon. If you guys don't want to run this is fine, but 25% more skill speed or attack speed is absolutely insane in the build. Then of course we're taking all of the spear nodes except for the accuracy one here. Then we're going to come down and we're going to take versatile arms for more attack speed, strength, and dex. We come down and we're going to grab sand in the eyes for chances to blind and then increase attack speed here. Of course, we got the star for all the attack speed nodes here, Jack of all trades and polymathy. Then we're going to come up and we're going to take authority for cooldown and just more area of effect. That's why you see our whirling slash aura is so big, and it's going to get bigger the more we level up. We're going to come up here and we're going to take blurred motion for attack speed and accuracy. And eventually we're going to come over here and take some more nodes, but this is what I have now. Unwavering stance is also an option here, so you can't be lightly stunned, which is great. But this is the passive tree right now. Now let's go ahead and get into the skills because we got a lot to talk about here. And then I'm going to finish showcasing the build a little bit. We are going to be doing 3 whirling slashes. I know that seems crazy and the concept does seem a little interesting, but we're going to be doing 3 whirling slashes. So let me go ahead and TP back to my base so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And then we'll go in. So we have our initial whirling slash, which is our 6 socket. We want to have 6 sockets on this one too. I just don't have another perfect. So we're going to use this whirling slash for our damage. That's on my right mouse button here. Next, we're going to use this whirling slash, which is level 2. So that way the mana cost is only 6. We're using this one with expanse, reach, font of blood, font of rage. If we get a perfect, we do magnified effect. We want to use this one as to activate our whirling slash to give us the aura. I have this one keybind to F. So when I press it, I'm going to press F. It gives me this. And then when I use my whirling slash that I do damage with, you can see how it expands and gives me this big AoE. Okay. Now that's how you start off the beginning of the build when you're doing a map, anything that you want. You use your aura one first, then you got your damage one. Now, however, this whirling slash costs 28 mana. Mana sustain is very tough in this build. So we equipped 1 level 2 whirling slash only, which is my left mouse button, because this is the one that we're going to use to move around with. We're going to move around the map here, move around the map. And then when we get to mobs, we'll swap. Instead of using this one, we'll use our damage one and deal a bunch of damage. Okay. That's how you're going to navigate the build going through maps. Very simple. The concept is great. That way you can sustain your mana. Otherwise, if you guys have any suggestions for me on how to help sustain mana, I will definitely take those in, because the only things that I have right now is the 1 gem here, which gives me 2% of maximum mana on kill, but I only have 800 mana, so it's not a whole lot. Now, there is an also question that I've wanted to look at is, out of these 3, like 20% reduced all res, 25% reduced spirit. We can't have reduced spirit because we need it. And then 30% reduced mana. Maybe 25% would work because I got 15 extra mana here, but I'm not sure. The 30% reduced mana just seems like the best option. Now, in our main whirling slash, guys, we got martial tempo for attack speed, inspiration to help reduce the cost, concentrated effect for more damage. Then we got bullseye for more accuracy, and then primal for even more damage. This is fantastic. Next, we have Berserk is going to be our only aura in our weapon slot 1, which I'll talk about in just a second. This is going to give us even more. I actually need to level this up because it's only level 14. So let's go ahead and level this thing up. I think I can go to 17 Spirit Gem. I think so. Berserk, yeah. So then we have Berserk here, which is going to give us physical damage leached, and we lose rage, but that's okay. We got Vitality, Cannibalism, Clarity, as well as Precision, just to help us with our overall build. Now we get into Weapon Slot 2, okay? Weapon Slot 2 we're going to be using for bosses. Now, I do want to get the Sacred Flame, so I'm working on that, guys, because the boss damage, like I said, isn't that great. But we're going to have Orb of Storms here to help apply some electricity on the ground, which is one way to do it with persistence and conduction. Then we got Rapid Assault. This is going to apply some debuffs. We got Practice Combo, Lacerate, as well as Impale. And then Primal Strikes is our main ability, which if I get a perfect, we'll get it to help deal some damage to bosses. We got Life Tap, Close Combat, Bloodlust, as well as Culmination. And then on our weapon slot, we got Trinity here for even more damage, right? And attack speed, we're putting Lightning Mastery as well as Cold Mastery on here. Now, so far, because I'm in early maps, I'm not even into T10 maps, I haven't had to do any weapon swapping. Just regular Whirling Slash is just fine. It works with the gear that I have, so it works perfectly fine. However, it does take a second. Now, on the weapon swap, though, you only want to have Rapid Assault, Primal Strikes, and Orb of Storms. That is the only things that you really want on there. If you get the Sacred Flame, it's going to allow you to use both Berserk plus Trinity because you get 100 extra spirit from that. So you will be able to use both, which is a huge amount of damage. So that's why I can't really weapon swap right now. But that is the skills, guys. Now let's go talk about some of the upgrades. Now at 78, you can use a Combing Calamity instead of the Warrior Invictus. This is going to give you all 3 heralds and give you some increased reses, and then enemies in your presence have no elemental resistances, which is great. I think this one is slightly better for clearing. I'm not 78 yet, so I haven't got a chance to test, but I think with all the lightning coming down in the Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunders hitting, I think the clear will be much better. But the Warrior Invictus is way better as far as when it comes to survivability, because not only does it give you all the attributes, but it gives you much more resistances. Now I do have a weapon upgrade here as soon as I get to 77, which will be great. But let's talk about how to add lightning to our build, right? Because Orb of Storms doesn't really add the lightning when we're trying to Whirling Slash, because it only picks it up from the ground. So instead, what I've decided to do is add Wake of Destruction. When you do this, you fly around and it automatically picks it up. So we add the lightning to our Whirling Slash, which is huge damage. So when you first get into a map, all you gotta do is have these on. As soon as you get lightning on here, you're good, and you can swap in your resistance boots and you're good to go. Now, that's pretty much the build, guys, and all we're gonna do is fly around. So let's go in here and let's showcase the build a little bit, because this has been great. Remember, we want to hit our aura one first, and then we could just spin around, right? But of course, we want to put on our lightning boots. Let's grab that, and then we can swap our boots out. And again, all you're going to do is use your level 2-1 to move around. And as soon as you get to enemies, you swap, and you deal a crap ton of damage. And the build is just great. Now, I will say, just like with Tempest Flurry with the Gemling last league, it is a little bit tough to get used to moving around because it is a little bit clunky. You get stuck on rocks and all this, that. Like, look, I'm just stuck on this cactus for no reason, which is annoying. It just, like, catches you. It absolutely sucks. But you can see, even against some of the elites, the damage isn't, like, super crazy yet because I'm pretty low level. But as we continue to improve the build with gear and these kind of things, the build is just super great and fast for clearing and just destroying a bunch of mobs. I can't wait to try the Calamity build, or the Calamity, not build, but chest piece. So when you're fighting here, I just advise you to go around elites. Just try to use your aura as much as you can, because it just makes things a whole lot easier. But that's the build, guys. You're just kind of zooming around, and you swap as soon as you get to a boss or an elite or mobs, and you're good to go. You do stun them and stagger monsters fairly quickly. So it's not the worst thing in the world against like elites and bosses, but I do wish that the overall damage was slightly better, and it will be once I get like closer to 90, right? We're still missing a lot of gear. We're missing a lot of passive nodes. So, but right now this really works and it's super fun. So yeah, guys, like the video, comment down below, let me know what you guys think. The build guide and everything will be down in the planner, in the description. So make sure to check that out, the POB as well. So again, guys, let me know, comment, let me know if you guys have any suggestions for this build and how we can improve it. Because right now it's really great for mapping, and I want to use this as the main mapper for the rest of this league, and then just play, I don't know, anything else to do bosses, I guess. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, stay gaming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.